Okay, we're gonna talk a little bit about siblings who fight. Maybe not your kids, maybe your kids don't fight. But my kids fought when they were little, and I know a lot of people's kids fight. So we're gonna talk about that. I don't know that there's any perfect answer for sibling rivalry and sibling fighting, but this is what I would start with at least. The first thing would be setting the foundation for your expectations with your kids. That's your first friend, and we're going to be nice. So we're not going to hit, we're not going to kick, and we're not going to say mean things, right? So those are our very basics. We're teaching our kids how to do relationship, right? So some of the common fights, kids take toys from each other, they're in each other's space, they're on each other's nerves. They live together all the time, right? And so they're going to get on each other's nerves. If you have a kid who's really independent and wants a little bit of space, be respectful of that, right? They can take a little bit of break. Otherwise, you're just pushing them over the edge, okay? So you can teach your kid that maybe wants to be with their sibling more, like your sister or your brother's taking a break right now and they need a little bit of space, okay? The flip side of that is that relationship is about compromise. And so at some point, that kid can't just be by themselves all the time, right? So now you need to play with brother or sister because you've had this alone time. Now you need to give a little attention here. That's just kind of what we do in relationships. Sometimes, right, with our spouses, we go do something they like because they like to do it and it's not what we would pick. But when it's our day, right, we're like, yay, it's my day. We got to do what I want to do. And so you need to teach that part of it, right? You need to teach your kids that they can come to you, right? If a situation's escalating, like it'd be great if they could work it out, right? Like, oh, do you want that toy? Oh, okay, you can have that toy, then I'll take a turn, right? Is that usually how it works out? No, it's not. You're like, rah, 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 I want the toy, and you hit, right? Or you're driving, and then they're like in the back seat, and all of a sudden it's escalating. You're like trying to get them, right? Like talk about distracted driving. And so a lot of times we do need to step in. And so you can tell them, come get me, okay? Instead of engaging that yourself and they whacked you and took your toy, now you're gonna go retaliate, that's gonna get you in trouble. So instead, you come get me and that they will get in trouble, right? And I will correct it for you. So you wanna give them some solutions that way. The other thing I would do is when they get a little bit older, and they want to have friends over and stuff, or they want to hang out with their friends. If they're not being nice to their sibling, no. If you can't do this relationship that's with your sibling, if you can't do your first friendship well, then you don't get to have the privilege of going out and just hanging out with other people that don't get on your nerves, okay? You need to learn to get along with your sibling, and then we can talk about bringing other people into the mix. So that's a privilege, and we need to be nice to our sibling, right? And so I would do that. And then also as they get a little bit older, if they do something wrong to their sibling, I would make them do something nice for their sibling. So there was times where I made one or the other of the kids go clean the other one's room. Like, well, you weren't very nice, so now you're going to do their chore. Something like that. They can make up for what they did, right? The other thing is that I would reward whoever stops the fight or doesn't engage in the fight. So like it takes two people to play catch, right? And so if one of them walks away or comes and gets you or doesn't engage or says, you can take the toy, then that's fine. They get rewarded because they de-escalated the situation, right? And that's a great life skill to learn to be not the one that fuels the fire, but okay, I'm going to kind of calm down. Like even though I was wronged, I'm going to bring it down, right? What a great life skill for our kids to learn. So I don't think that it's going to fix anything overnight, but hopefully you can kind of start to set the tone, come up with some creative ways to kind of get them to recognize their siblings' feelings and that it matters how they treat each other. And I would start there, and then hopefully we can kind of at least minimize some of the big fights. Hopefully that helps.